So I have had a really hard time in the last few months doing shellac burns. For some reason, just the inspiration has not been with me, and all of the pieces that I have tried to create have just looked terrible. And I don't know why. I've just been really struggling with it lately. So this was another attempt, um, some more practice. I think one of the struggles that I have with doing a dry shellac burn specifically, like letting the shellac dry and then burning it, is that you need a lot of control with the blowtorch. I get my best results when I brush the flame, a very gentle flame, just back and forth over the dried shellac. But even then, I've noticed that, especially in this piece, when I put the shellac on the surface, I tend to kind of glop it on because I like a thicker layer. But when I do that, I end up getting sections of the shellac that are thicker than others. So there's thick parts, there's thin parts, and then when I go to brush the flame across the surface, some of it burns well, but then the thicker parts don't. And so I end up with kind of an uneven layer of cells. And then when I try to go back and burn the parts that didn't burn as much because they're thicker, I end up overburning. So that's one of the things that I've realized that I need to be really careful when I apply the shellac that I do it as evenly as I can, because then going back and doing a burn with a gentle flame, kind of brushing it over the surface, I believe I'm going to get a much better result. Doing the doing the gentle brush of the flame across has been one of the things that I've really struggled with. I tend to go really fast, and I tend to try to do it in circles. It's been very counterintuitive to me to teach myself to go slowly, to just kind of brush the flame across the surface. But those are the times when I get the best results. And I think that's why this piece worked so much better than many of the my attempts in the past few months, is because I've gotten much better at doing that brush of the flame across the surface. I liked the red shellac over the black, but it didn't quite stand out as much as I wanted it to. So I'm just adding a layer of white just to kind of highlight the cells, not to cover everything. You can see that there's a lot that's still uncovered, but just to kind of highlight the shellac burn a little bit more. I really like when I fuse that thin layer of white. You can see it through the white because it's a thin layer, but you also, as I'm fusing it, it also kind of, the wax kind of melts around the shellac, and you almost get like a textured kind of look as the cells come through the white wax. I don't know if that really conveys in the video, but it was pretty cool. And on this, you can really see that my layers are thick, that some sections are much thicker than others, and I'm really just making it harder for myself. I think it worked okay in this because it's just a tiny little strip. Like I haven't done that over the whole surface. And so it's okay for it to be a little uneven and a little wonky. But if you're doing shellac over large sections of your surface, you are going to want a more even layer. But that was the result. I'm pretty happy with it. I did make some mistakes and some overburning in sections, but overall it looks pretty cool. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it was an informative video, and I'll see you guys next time.